palomas iban para Daniel Arcián y al papá de Daniel.
Con Mario Martínez, de 100 millas, ya es que los pulean, ganó 2.500 bolas. Y empezaron a palomear.
Vemos
De 2018.
el tamaño del ala, el tipo de ala que tiene. La, ¿sí? De la cola que esté parejita. No abre la cola.
Con una Ulrich Clement.
¿Este lo sacó ahorita? No, ese es el que se va a llevar.
Sí. Para allá. Ya vendió los babies el primer año. Babies del primer año.
Entonces todos se fueron a China, casi.
Varios de esos me llevé, de eso lo que me llevé, pues en el combinado, en adultas, ¿verdad? Nada más hubo un nuevo vuelo, no quisieron volar el 10º vuelo, ganó el palomar.
¿Es el Wonder Bamberg?
Wonder 194, era macho stick abajo.
Wow.
Pues una hija.
Ya casi cae. Ya caí.
Chingó la checker.
Son como 20.
Vamos, ya se
Esa la sacando yo.
llegó un prieto. Ah, la madre de Los Ángeles. Había nomás un negro.
Resultados. Bueno, en primer lugar, me parece que se lo lleva alguien de Los Ángeles, Leaded, Gert y Minville. Y en segundo lugar, cayeron 3 en el drop, y luego está No Limit Loft de California, Lebrensko Rubino, Pennsylvania, y de ahí ya llegaron las otras, donde gracias nos toca marcar una. Volaron aquí, creo que llegaron a las 3:47 con una velocidad de 1065, muy dura la carrera. Y van aproximadamente ahorita 23 palomas. 23 palomas. También recibiendo una muy buena aquí de mi amigo Víctor Castañeda de Palm Springs. ¿Quién más tenemos de conocidos? Sigue APC Loft, Ramiro Rivera, Checos EVG Loft, SNM, Tony Chang, Ángeles Wings de Beto, saludos a buen Beto, mi pariente, Hey Loft, Jax Loft, Gómez Loft, Campton Syndicate en el 15, Víctor Castañeda, California, Palm Springs, 16, Joaquín Love, 17, Caliber, Lebresco, otra, Swamp Dog, Roger and Lee, Libre, y la última, Lebresco Rubino, que trae otra Lebresco Rubino. Así más o menos van, 23 palomas hasta ahorita.
Quedan todavía 22 premios.
Quedan, sí, según yo eran
son 45 premios
aproximadamente.
Ajá.
Se puso más difícil, y en la plática con las demás personas estaban diciendo que probablemente cada vez entre más difícil menos palomas llegaban en punta, y así fueron las palomas, ¿verdad? Después del susto que nos sacó era una perdida, ¿verdad?
Sí, una perdida, esas nos desconcentró toditos. Bueno, intentamos y hay que esperar a las demás para completar todos los premios.
¿Cuántos premios son? 40 y pico de son de premios, ¿verdad? Entonces todavía
que lleguen van a ser ganadores.
Todavía hay premios, todavía está abierto para otros premios. Así es de que hay que seguir esperando palomas. También los invitamos al próximo año, 2022, la familia Franco.
2022, aquí está abierta las puertas y con mucho gusto los invitamos.
¿Qué día dijo que se recibían las palomas?
En febrero primero ya empezamos a recibir las palomas, que guste mandar y aquí se las cuidamos al 100.
Bueno, como están viendo.
Como están viendo. Y ya los atendemos al 100 también.
Ya vimos, música y todo, gracias. Muy de lujo aquí.
Gracias,
y un lugar, ¿qué tan grande es el lugar aquí de
Son 10 acres.
Son 10 acres.
Compartimos aquí.
Muy amplio, ¿verdad?
Muy amplio.
Del otro modo que se protege más, no llevan tanto de uno o anda uno haciendo menos,
Yo lo quise cuando tenía mi palomar que está allá.
Ahí te va.
Aquí uno lo ve.
Eso madre.
Ah, sí, el mando de la O, la 38, sal.
¿Tienes hembras?
Good morning guys. Here we are from Racing Sport Pigeon MX. Today we're visiting Mr. Steve Miner. Thank you for inviting us. Today's here's a San Diego Holiday Classic. We just came to see what they do, how they train, when they take birds. How big is your loft? How big is your loft, Steve?
Well, we have two lofts side by side, and the bigger of the one is 50 feet long, and they have all of their 8-foot sections with one 10-foot section that the last one we just put on, and then we have an older loft that's been here since early 80s, and that one has 4 8-foot sections, so that's 32. So we have a total of 82 feet. So we have a total of I think, let's see, 4, 6, 10 or 11 sections.
So a lot of people in Mexico, since it's a channel for Mexico, I mean for America as well, but we've been talking about this race that you do here in San Diego. How long has it been in San Diego that you have this race?
Well, to my knowledge, we are the longest running one loft race in the history in the United States.
Wow.
We started in 1980, and we actually started as a club function. All the guys in the club put birds in the one loft, and we started it. That's the very first year. That's how it started. And then people from out of town started coming, and then it was became very, very popular. And today we have, I don't know how many one loft races, but we are actually one of the first ones that started the one loft racing. Besides the state race, they have the California state race. I don't know. I'm not sure when that first one was, but that was a one loft race. But we were the first club that put it on, and then Ron Steinbrenner was the guy that actually spearheaded it, and then he had the intentions of creating a one loft race for clubs and individuals.
Nice. So if I don't, if I remember, last year we were going to celebrate. I think was it 30-year anniversary?
No, last year we were going to celebrate the 40th.
40th.
But we had the pandemic, so that actually this year is 41, but we're celebrating the 40th this year, even though it's the 41st.
And when do you take birds? How many birds can you take in your loft?
We start taking birds on March 15th, and we take them through June 15th. And we can take in. We don't want to take any more than 700 birds. We can put in 400 in the bigger loft and 300 in the smaller. And we usually get right about between 650 and 7. And we want to take really, really good care. We don't want to get them overcrowded. And I think we have one of the best loft managers in the country by Ahmad Murat.
Ahmad
goes by Curd Loft, and he's been doing it for how many years? 22 years here in San Diego, and then he actually grew up with pigeons in his home country, where are you from, Ella?
Curtis.
Kurt Lockwood is Iraq, right? Yeah. So he's very knowledgeable of pigeons and does really well as himself as a the weekly races that we have here in Old Birds. He does very well.
So we have people that ask us, you know, your final race is at 300 miles?
308 to us.
308. What average do you think they fly for the last years on your final? 12, 15, 16?
Yeah, our races as a rule are anyway between 13 and 1400. You know, the last few years it's been more in the 14s. But for the most part, our course is very unique because it's the last 50 miles coming home is they come up from the flat of the desert, and then they go up 4,000 to 5,000 feet, and then the last 50 miles they're flying through the mountains, and you know, with all the wind that go through the mountains and that sort of thing.
Headwinds.
So it's not an easy course, not an easy course at all. Even though they do make, as a rule, make pretty good speed, but we have it takes pretty tough pigeon.
Super nice. Okay, so we're gonna take a look at the lofts, and we'll be right back.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you. Here from Racing Pigeon Sport MX. Today we're here with world's famous California Classic and Royal Cup. Mr. Timmerman, John Timmerman.
Hello, I'm John Timmerman from San Diego, California. This is the California Classic. Been doing the one loft race since early 2000. Been involved with our San Diego races, multiple loft races since 1995, and still going strong.
Super. John, tell us a little bit about your loft, the California Classic. How many birds can you take? How big is your loft?
California Classic, when we initially started, was a 60-foot loft, and then now 150 feet. It did expand. It is now 20 feet deep. And this year we brought in 1,800 birds, and we're still holding on to a little over, close to 1,400 still.
1,400. How many can you fit inside every?
We're about 130 each section.
About 130 each section. And how long has this one loft race been?
California Classic's been going on since early 2000.
Early 2000, so we're on what, 40 years? 40 years?
No, 20-something years.
20-something years.
San Diego, I've always been involved with the San Diego races, even as a breeder since I was 16 years old. Something truly amazing that has expanded worldwide, all the way to South Africa. I would say that from San Fernando Valley, which was the FEC, to San Diego, we set the ground. And I would say truly that the FEC did the best with being, you know, role models and what pigeon flying was all about.
Super. So a lot of people ask us a question. Your final race is 300 miles, 30.
We fly at 300, which is the final classic race, and we come back and fly a race 2 weeks later, which is a 350.
360. What kind of weather do you think for that final?
Well,
normally average
for us in San Diego, which that's what makes this unique versus all the other races. Okay. We fly from the east to the west. So predominantly the winds on the course, crosswinds, headwinds. However, with the global changing, the last few years we've been experiencing more high pressure system coming out of the desert ends up with more of a tailwind. But this year, of course, we're back to the old school where it's pretty much headwinds every time we train.
So people like to know what kind of birds would they send here? What do you think? Maybe the fast race, slow race?
Over the years, average? I mean, that's another thing with this course. The race is geared for 6.5 hours. That's for pretty much for all the San Diego races. And keep in mind, our days are short. Come November, we're flying. It's light 7 o'clock, and it's dark. It starts getting dark already at 4 o'clock, 4:30. So that's one of the reasons why we never went further in distance for the main race. because we do get quite a few people from all over the country that visit, and we always like to make sure that we have birds when they're here on arrival.
Also, when you release for the final, do you release just for the classic, or is it all together?
For our initial races during the San Diego race weekend, we fly individual races. Everyone is, the birds fly for their own prizes per loft. And the race flown 2 weeks later, we just do a joint mass release, and all the pigeons that have flown the first race fly the second race.
And do you do anything at the end for the race, or, you know, to receive any of your guests?
For the
little barbecue.
For the 350, yeah, we've always here in San Diego. We've always we've become more of an event, more so than regular pigeon racing. The people that have come, quite a few have passed, but we have a new generation of people that are coming and have become part of for the last 5-10 years. But the people that have become part of San Diego, they've been with us for 20-25 years, some 30 years. And it's truly amazing the friendships that are made, the stories, of course, that are shared, and pigeons and life. And that's what makes us unique, because the pigeon racing is one thing, which here in San Diego, our handlers, Ahmad Marat, phenomenal pigeon flyer, his skill with the skill that's over here, it's true pigeon racing. And in the end, all our birds are liberated together, so you always know the birds went the distance, and there's none of that stuff. And the people, the breeders that do come to San Diego, truly amazing that, you know, this week of racing is on their calendar, and it's already pre-planned from January 1st to come November. And we consider ourselves very fortunate to be doing this, and always look forward to doing it.
So we also heard, I want to say a special hello to Mr. John Emelka. He has a little page of stats where he talks about the top one-off races, and this is one of them.
Yeah,
one of the top one-off races. It's very, very popular, good competition, one of the best, if not the best.
I mean, of course, I appreciate that very much from Joe and all those of guys that are involved that helped make this a race, helped to make this a true classic. Of course, you know, with the great handling, but you need the good pigeons, and that's one thing that San Diego does have. We get a lot of top breeders participating. They're not here just for a race; they're here for the whole week. And again, that's what it's all about.
Super. And for last, we're gonna go through a little through the loft, but also when do you start taking birds?
We usually start taking birds March 1st, and we take them all the way to end of May. My training here for the California Classic and the Royal Cup, I usually start usually the second week of August, and we go all the way to present.
Super. Is there like a waiting list, or
yes,
should they contact you before?
The Royal Cup is now open. California Classic is sold out. I do have a reservation page.
What is that? What is the page? Can you share it?
Yeah, the California Classic.
California Classic.
Yeah, it's yeah. Who knows where it's gonna go from here? But at the moment, we all enjoy it, and we want the best pigeons to come to the top. That's it.
Okay, we're gonna continue doing a little walkthrough to the loft.
Yeah, we've done some remodeling here and there, and you asked pigeons. What kind of pigeons do we race? Particular bloodlines that have done well on this course: the Leo Hermans, Gabbies, Gabby Vanderbilt, Cannibals. Those are predominantly for this race here have been done really well.
Do you have certain lots that repeat?
There have been in the last, I'd say 3 to 5 years, there have been some tremendous breeders, new guys that have come on the sport and have just really started doing really well, and their pigeons are shining all over. I mean, I've heard in the past, where, you know, what pigeons fly here, where do they win? You take David Clausing, I mean, it started back for him in 1999 with 410 being flown here, and his results speaks for themselves, and he's still dominating. He's still a contender in the race. You take Johnny Lynn, fairly young man that, hey, his record speaks for himself. I mean, at one time we used to have a Dr. Lynn, and now we have Johnny Lynn.
Same family.
No relationship.
No relationship.
But it is interesting. I mean, some of these gentlemen, I mean, they just have the feel. And of course, with the hard training and the hard course, they are able to develop very special pigeons.
Super. Should we continue with the loft? We're gonna go see a little bit of the Royal Cup. We're back here with the breeding loft. Tell us about the breeding loft. We had that question. What do you fly under?
I fly under 2 loft names. I fly under Pigeon World USA, which that's kind of where it all started for me. I had a partner, and anyways, I always kept that name. So when I fly by myself, I still participate in my club and race. I fly under Pigeon World. In the multiple loft races, I fly under High Cal. The partner that I partnered up with, Stan George out of Hawaii, and the reason I partnered up with the gentleman, for one, he's terrific, but he's just a mentor, very ethical, and someone that I've always looked up to. And in order to get better, you need someone who is going to be ethical and basically has their shit together. So he's my partner.
Super nice. Yeah, I was asking him, you have, being a pigeon faster, having your one-off race, do you send your birds out off camera? He was telling me, so now we know. High Cal
is what our, for the one loft races, that has been our success. I would say this last year we've been on and off. Previous years we've had our moments. And that's pigeon racing, up and down. And like I said before, previous, you know, what happens in San Diego with the friendships, and it's the same thing for me with having a partner. We have our highs and lows, but in the end, we can still talk pigeon and really enjoy each other, enjoy the pigeons, and that's what it's all about.
So on the one loft races, you know, in Mexico, some people do feed. Half pellet, half feed. What do you feed? Do you use pellet at all for your?
I have used pellets. When pigeons come in early, I like to put them on a high protein, and I'll keep them on a fairly higher protein all the way up until they start molting. But when they start molting heavily, I will still administer high protein, but then I'll back off and start feeding a little bit more barley because I don't want them too heavy. Because our pigeons here, we will cut flights and we lock them down. When I say lock them down, we shut them down for a period of 4 to 5 weeks. And
okay, folks, so we're back with the world's famous California Classic and Royal Cup. So now we're gonna get a little walkthrough of the loft on this side. Okay, let's go. So tell us about this. Why having 2 one-off races the same?
So the idea of the Royal Cup started with leech grain and milling to help sustain San Diego race weekend. At the time, Triple Crown, Ron was ill. Was not sure if his son Johnny was going to take it over. And so Johnny did take it over, and at the meantime the loft was getting built, and we just added the feature for the week to basically entertain the breeders that come here. Another year passed, and unfortunately Johnny Steinbrenner, he got sick, had cancer, and he passed. And at that moment, breeders wanted something different, so we kind of followed what the breeders wanted, but yet not fully following the footsteps of the Triple Crown. So similar structure, but yet but not, if that makes any sense. This is the Royal Cup is a 3-race series, and
So this is a 3-race series, and the Classic.
the California Classic is just a one. So it's just a one race. We do have little races in between, but the actual the points for the birds and prizes, that's the fees are paid in advance. Which the California Classic, that's another unique thing where you don't pay until the bird actually is sent to the race. The Royal Cup, you are paying a fee, an activation fee after the 100 miles. The first race, the first leg of this Royal Cup is 140 miles. A week later we fly 190, and the final being 325.
Wow, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
So this is fairly new, a fairly new loft?
It is a fairly new loft. Also 150 feet. It's 16 feet deep.
How many could fit inside each?
Also about 130 to 145 feet.
130, 140? This is all pretty much made out of wood?
This is, tongue and groove for the roof, and everything by code. It's just the way things are in California now. Everything's got to be structurally strong and sane. This is earthquake country. No, it's also fire. Everything in this building is fireproof, fire rated.
How many birds in this
Race?
particular one in the Royal Cup?
The Royal Cup, we just now have a little over 700. The losses have been a little higher than normal here, and more or less, a lot of it is because breeders come in late, and it's very difficult on late pigeons to do well here in San Diego. On this course with the winds, pigeons that are molting, they just have a difficult time. Not to say they can't win, but the whole training process, it shows. They drop off.
And how many birds can you fit in this? How many birds do you receive for this particular?
Previous year, we did not have that many. This was the first year we were just over 1,000 pigeons, and we got 700 left. But I cannot take full credit for myself for this race as of right now for handling. I do have a helper who's full time. I do have 2 other guys that are helpers, but I have a loft manager, Junior Solid Dog, who helps facilitate and is part of and loves the pigeons. And
thank you, Junior.
He's here every day, and he's right now at football practice with his son. So.
Nice, he gets to be with the family as well. Yeah. Pigeons and family.
Yeah, I think this is when all pigeon flyers, all one-off races, consider yourself fortunate if you have guys on hand that have pigeon knowledge and are able to take care of pigeons and be on the property.
And this is
that's the trapping system.
That's the trapping system.
All, Benzine's equipment and. High tech, not like the California Classic. We're second grade.
Do you basket all these by hand, or do you have a different system for?
We load them all up. We run them all into a chute, and we load them pretty quick, fairly quick. But we do not like to handle pigeons. Of course, if we see a pigeon that's down or if a chip's missing, we scan it, or of course we investigate the bird. But other than that, there is no handling of pigeons.
And you take all different colors. You can see the white one.
No, that's just a dropper.
That's just a dropper?
Yeah. He's
Nice.
a cross.
Nice, nice.
Okay, let's go through.
Well,
Each guy made that, and this guy made this. This was John Carnival when he was.
this is how much they made?
Yeah. 1998.
In 98.
Wow. Yeah. That was a multiple loft race. And this bird was unlucky. So this pigeon here, unlucky. This the bird that I handled at the time was John Carnival and Mike Fletcher. Mike Fletcher passed away a few years back. Terrific person, but the reason I called the bird unlucky was a difference of 2 seconds, a difference of 42,000 and 18,000. And unlucky, the bird bred by John Carnival. At that time, they had the rubber counter marks, so it wasn't an electronic clock. The bird was just pulled.
Right.
And so,
It took a little longer to.
but in the meantime, I made up to him. I gave him a pigeon named Big Mama, and that one ended up doing really well for John. He was a pigeon merchant in Amsterdam. He
This is in Belgium?
this is 90,000 pigeons, Orleans.
Wow, we thought we had one of the biggest ones
No, Holland.
in Latin America, or maybe in the world.
Well,
no.
Latin America, yes. But
Yes.
in Belgium at the time, no. You can see all the trucks for yourself.
Now we know that information. Thank you. This is in where was this released?
Orleans.
Orleans, about close to 90,000. So this is like a world record right here.
I'm not sure what the record was. All I know is Peter van Ramsdonk, he sent me that back. I think that picture was in 03, 02, something like that. But he sent.
Okay, we're back. I just want to say thank you for letting us come to your loft, to your home, for inviting us. We had a great time. Really appreciate it.
Enjoy it. Lots of luck to everybody.
We'll see you guys here in the one loft races. Like I said, world famous California Classic and Royal Cup here with John Turner.
Thank you.
Again.
Take care.